Welcome back to more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Last time, we managed to finish the Forest Temple, awakening our good friend Saria as a sage and obtaining the Forest Medallion. Now that we have save and quit the game, it will now return us here to the Temple of Time. And there's something very specific I wanted to show you. Now that we have completed our first temple, where to go next isn't super obvious. You destroyed the wicked creatures that haunted the temple and awakened the sage. But there are still other sages who need your help. In order to awaken all the other sages, you must become even more powerful. You must travel over mountains, underwater, and even through time. If you want to return to your original time, return the Master Sword to the pedestal of time. By doing this, you will travel back in time 7 years. The time will come when you will have to return here quickly. I will teach this to you for when that time comes. The song to return you to the Temple of Time, the Prelude of Light. You have learned the Prelude of Light. As long as you hold the Ocarina of Time and the Master Sword, you hold time itself in your hands. Link, we shall meet again. So yeah, not only was this what I wanted to show, it's also somewhat what we need to do next, though not specifically. There are many things that we can do as a child that will now help us here as an adult, namely all of the bean spots. If there are any you forgot, say one at the lake, for instance, or one in places that we are going to, such as the mountain, you might want to head back and put beans there. So, that's what we're going to do. And just like that, we'll return to our young selves again. The other nice thing is that now that we have the Prelude of Light, we can come here at will, which is very nice. The other big thing about all of the songs we know is that they function as young Link as well. So, should we ever need to return to the forest, we can play the Minuet. Should we need to return to Lake Hylia, we can play the Serenade of Water, just the same way as we can play the Serenade of Light. All of these songs are super useful for getting you around very quickly. Especially as young Link, seeing as he doesn't have Epona. That's going to be something that is going to be incredibly apparent. But, as young Link, although I do want to plant some beans, I also want to grab our next mask. Oh, great, you sold it. Please pay me back 30 rupees for the spooky mask now. Payment received. And now, let's grab the bunny hood. Price 50 rupees with swinging rabbit ears. Do you want to borrow the bunny hood? We sure do. We borrowed a bunny hood, wear it with C to show it off. The hood's long ears are so cute. And you know, they are. For anyone who has played the sequel to Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, You might be thinking, oh man, what an upgrade. Well, it doesn't really do anything. In Majora's Mask, the bunny hood is one of the better items in the game as it increases Link's normal movement speed. It is phenomenally useful in that game. However, in Ocarina of Time, as you can see, with or without the hood, you still move at the same pace. So I mean, hey, kudos to the people who made Majora's Mask. They used a pretty cool asset for something pretty useful. Honestly, I do like seeing games that reuse things like that in a really good and creative way. I think it's nice. Otherwise, if you remember the running man who was out here that we saw randomly, I think, sleeping, he is the one who wants the bunny hood. So, at this point, we kind of just need to find him running around Hyrule Field. Now, normally, you can spot him by, I think, a little dust cloud that's kind of moving behind him, though, sometimes he's a little hard to track down. I want to say he does circles around Lon Lon Ranch, so, maybe just run around and look for him. Also, if you see those big giant things in the distance, and the one that's heading toward us, those are big P-hats, and frankly, I really am not terribly interested in fighting them. So now that it's nighttime, this actually kind of becomes a really opportune time to look for the guy, because if we find him at night, he won't be moving, which I believe is also when you actually need to give him the hood. Because I want to say while he's running around, I don't know if you can talk to him. Now granted, I might be wrong on that. It actually might be the opposite and I'm getting things mixed up. It's very possible. It's been a little while since I've done this. And speaking of moving quickly and doing races, I remember that when we did the Dompe race, I had completely forgotten how to actually beat that without using a later item. Not only have I A, remembered, but B, I looked into it a bit just to see if there were any other clever ways of doing it. And not only are there's actually an interesting, I guess, glitch that you can abuse to actually finish the race in 0 seconds on a technical scale. Actually, it's still going to take you as long, if not actually longer, doing this quote-unquote glitch. But it will technically finish the race in 0 seconds, should you perform it correctly. Anyways, we managed to find the running guy. So ideally... Come here, fella. Hello? So yeah, as you can see, you can't talk to him. So, if you can't talk to him, simply make it nighttime to make him stop running. So, just give it a minute. With it becoming nighttime, he should ideally settle down pretty soon. Sometimes it takes him a moment to stop. I mean, I guess he's just motivated. Ah, there we go. Hey there, guy. I bet with those long ears you can hear the voices. Oh, these are genuine rabbit ears from the animal of legend. I don't care how expensive it is. Please sell it to me. Sure. My long-time dream, returning to the wildlife. Finally, the actor, stage, and prop have been united. It's a 50 rupee mask, but he paid you a crazy amount of money for it. More money than you can count. I want to say this guy will max out your wallet pretty much, almost regardless of how much money you have. I don't know the exact amount, but suffice to say, it's more than you can count. So I think regardless of if you have 0, he's going to max out your wallet. So, ideally, spend all your money and then do this. But we should go back to the mask shop and pay just 50 rupees of this money back. I think it's a very, very good idea. Now, although it is nighttime, if you remember, we have the Prelude of Light, which means we now have an easy warp to the Temple of Time, which means we can get in to Castletown very easily, regardless of if it's day or night. Now, obviously, it needs to be daytime for us to do anything there. That much still remains true, but this will not only save us the walk back, but it gives us a very easy way of getting back to town. This is probably going to be one of your most used songs, and it's no wonder why. Because with 2 songs, you can get back to pretty much the hub of the game and make it day. It's very convenient. Anyways, oh, Mr. Mask Salesman. Hey there. Oh, great, you sold it. Please pay me back 50 rupees for the bunny hood now. Oh, yeah. Very well done. All the masks are sold out. I knew I could trust you. As a reward, I will lend you this special mask. This is the Mask of Truth. It is a mysterious mask passed down by the Sheikah. With this mask, you can see into other people's minds. It's useful, but scary. Why is it scary? You may find out as you grow older and discover the true meaning of life. You borrowed a Mask of Truth. Wear it with C to show it off. Show it to many people. From now on, you can borrow any mask you want. Just have faith. So, welcome. Which mask can I lend to you? Should you wish to, you can borrow the Gerudo mask. With its charming eyes, it makes a great lady's disguise. You can also borrow the Zora mask. You'll look cool while you're swimming if you wear this mask. And of course, the Goron mask. This round face makes you a little happier. I don't actually believe any of these masks have any real use, but if you want to wear them, feel free. Now, the Mask of Truth. This is the penultimate item that will go in this slot. Same with the claim check there. With the Mask of Truth, yeah, what's your problem? You can scare people. I know, very useful. The actual use of this mask is to check these Sheikah stones. This statue's one-eyed gaze pierces into your mind. Did it? Oh, there we go. Gotta re-equip the mask, and weird. Responding to your mask, this strange stone statue talks to you. I overheard this. They say that Gerudos sometimes come to Hyrule Castletown to look for boyfriends. Also weird, I don't know why the screen is blinking. That is quite strange. But, as you can see, whenever you find one of those stones, you can now use the Mask of Truth to effectively talk with it. It's kind of useful. The big limitation is that only young Link can wear the mask. So, while you will see a bunch of different locations to actually use it, you're probably not going to be young Link. Which means you're going to have to come back to the Temple of Time, turn into young Link, get back to wherever you were, actually see what the mask has to say, go all the way back, and then continue on your merry way. It's not the most convenient thing. I think it would have been nice if it just gave you the ability to read all of the stones regardless of what you were doing. Also, hello, Korigabora. I want to say if we speak to you, I'm on my way back to the castle. If you want to come with me, hold on to my talons. We sure don't. So, if you feel free to take off now. But if you noticed, he was sitting on a grave. Should we move this grave? If I can, there we go. There is a little hole here. Down here, there are a bunch of business scrubs. Excuse me. There we go. What are you selling? I surrender. In return, I will sell you Deku nuts. 5 pieces for 20 rupees they are. No, we're good. Also, I think the screen is flashing because my cables are messed up. Give me one moment. Ah, don't you just love modern technology mixing with old? I mean, look, to be completely honest, it's not the most annoying thing in the world, but it is still pretty darn annoying. Anyways, now that things are fixed, let's plant a bean right here. It will certainly help us as an adult. Otherwise, let's see, now that we've done that, there is another bean location I do want to hit, but we don't have the song necessary to actually get there. So, let's play our brand new Prelude of Light, warp back to the Temple of Time, maybe go read some gossip, and then turn back into Adult Link, because we've got some, chores, we'll call them, to do. Now that we have the bow from the Forest Temple, we can get our 4th bottle with a whole lot of patience. Still, in the meantime, what do you say? Responding to your mask, this strange stone statue talks to you. I overheard this. They say that Malin set the original record in the obstacle course of Lon Lon Ranch. Interesting. And you? Responding to your mask, this strange stone statue talks to you. I overheard this. They say that Malin of Lon Lon Ranch hopes a knight in shining armor will come and sweep her off her feet someday. Right. And you? Surely you won't talk about girls in a weird way, right? Responding to your mask, this strange stone statue talks to you. I overheard this. They say that it is against the rules to use glasses at the treasure chest shop in Hyrule Castle Town Market. Well, well, well. That is actually a very big hint. Though it's for something much later. Interestingly, the other 3 stones really do solidify the name Gossip Stone. But, at the very least, 1 out of 4 was genuinely useful, giving you a hint for how to get a piece of heart. Although we can't get the piece of heart right now, it is good to know for later. So, keep it in mind. Otherwise, hello, Master Sword. Time to grow up, shall we? Man, I tell ya, seeing that animation never gets old. Now, one thing to note, when you go between being young and adult Link, your item loadouts stay the same. If you remember, we had the hook shot and the fairy bow equipped on adult Link, and of course, the Bigoron sword. As young Link, we now have the Mask of Truth, Ocarina, and the beans. So, keep it in mind. I think it's pretty darn convenient and really nice. Otherwise, it's time to go big Poe hunting. With said fairy bow, and the help of Epona, we can now go all around Hyrule Field and hunt all 10 big Poes. Now, regardless of what we do... Oops. Oh, that's Saria's song. Whoopsies. I mixed up her song and Epona's song. Hers is the opposite. You want to talk to Saria? No. Thank you, Navi. Really? Then you want to talk to me? You know what? Sure. That cloud over Death Mountain. There's something strange about it. So yeah, that is where we need to go next, but... like I said, first we need to do some Poe hunting, assuming I can remember the right songs to play. Now, Luckily, for both you and especially me, there are maps online for where all 10 of the big Poes are. So, I'm going to be using a map in order to find them. One of them should be more or less right in front of us, though there is one issue. Most of the Poes don't show up unless you're moving in a very specific direction. So, it can be a little tricky to find them. I want to say one of them is up here, up on that ledge. I just want to make sure it wasn't down here, which thank goodness it isn't. So I'm going to kind of be doing these in no particular order, just trying to get them out of the way, basically. So let's see, I believe there's one also in front of the castle here, if the map is correct. That's the thing, I don't remember the direction you need to be going in order to find it. Usually, and what's supposed to happen, is you're supposed to just naturally ride Epona and find the big Poes, because they'll show up and then you're like, oh, I'll shoot them. So yeah, see, there's one right here. We heard it, but it didn't actually show up. I think because it was behind us. Again, they're kind of incredibly finicky. So, there's a very good chance I'm going to be fast-forwarding a lot of this, because it's just going to be me running around looking for them like an idiot. And again, although I do have a map, it's not all that useful. Oh. It's down there. Right. So, I guess let's go from down here? As you can see, they're kind of weird. I at least wanted to show off trying to find the first one, but they're kind of a pain. Yeah, go away. Alright, now let's try it. Big Poe? You gonna show up? Sometimes you have to hit, like, the right kind of area to trigger it, and then you can chase after it. But I remember this one just being a pain. Oh, there it is. So yeah, as you can see, it kind of moves forward. And, there's really no way for me to not lose my arrow here. I guess I can equip something else and, just do like that. Nope, still uses the arrow. Oh well. Ah, there we go. So yeah, when you see the big Poe, simply shoot it, and ideally hit it, or miss every shot like me. Very good. But you can imagine the idea here. You need to hunt all of the big Poes on horseback using the bow. And yes, it must be the bow. No other weapon can actually damage them, and they won't show up if you're on foot. So they're, really annoying. Otherwise, let's see if we can get it to show up again. Get into position here. Let's see if we can move forward, get to show up. No? And I want to say it doesn't matter if it's day or nighttime. I want to say they can show up regardless, which is nice. Poe? You gonna show up? Or are we not gonna show up? It's also very possible I am wrong that it may actually have to be daytime, which is kind of counterintuitive, right? You'd think that ghosts would show up at nighttime. Alright. Well, if that's not the case, simply get off Epona and play the day song. Trust me, this is a very annoying project, but that's why I want to do it now, is to get it out of the way. So let's see, Poe, you gonna show up? No? Well, seeing as it doesn't want to show up again. Oh, huh? Oh. You know, to be honest, I'm just as confused as you probably are. Still, let's try to get it to show up over here, can we? Please? Oh? Well, as you can see, Poe hunting is rather finicky. I mean, look, Ocarina of Time is a pretty darn old game, so don't know if I can really fault it. Let me see if it'll show up. Oh, there it is. Alright, we got it. So when you defeat a Poe... Opponent, please stop. Because I don't know if I'm going to actually get to it in time. When you defeat a Poe, we need to get rid of one of our fairies, which is fine, because we needed help. There we go. You defeated Poe the Ghost. Do you want to catch it in a bottle? Yes, we do. You caught a big Poe, sold at the ghost shop for a lot of money. So there's the whole gimmick. You shoot down a Poe, bring it to the shop, and sell it for money. Now, unfortunately, we really don't need money. So this really just becomes a gimmick of run around, hunt 3 ghosts, bring them back, and then find the final one. On the map I'm using, this is marked as ghost number 3, but it's also, in my opinion, one of the most annoying ones to get, which is why I went for it first. Otherwise, at this point, the rest is pretty much just going to be me running around trying to find the other ones, getting them to spawn, shooting them down, bottling them up, and going from there. So, without further ado, get ready for some ghost hunting. And now the other big thing that I haven't really brought up yet is arrows. You're going to need arrows in order to hunt the Poes. This much is obvious. I have, what, a whole 3 left in my quiver? So to be honest, you have a few choices. You can either go to some of the stores, such as, say, the Kokiri Forest store, to buy more arrows, or, better yet, you can just go around some of the bushes that are out here in the field and cut them down and find arrows there. It's not guaranteed, sure, but it is a lot cheaper. Now you might be wondering, why are we at Lake Hylia? Well, I like coming here because there are 3 big patches of grass that I find usually can help you out with arrows. Now you might have to cut a couple of them, but if you also remember, we planted the bean here as a kid. That's another thing that I figured while we were trying to get arrows. There we go. We could stop here and grab, even though it's maybe not the most convenient time, but hey. Otherwise, back to 23. What a strange number I keep landing on. But hey, all's well that ends well. So, if we use that bean we planted, we can come up here onto the roof of the laboratory. Now, if you notice, there's a naughty little bird that's flying around. I'm really hoping I timed this right, and I didn't. As you can see, though, there is a piece of heart up there for us, which is ultimately why we're here. As you can see, I was going to say lily pad, but it's kind of not. Hover plant, maybe, is a better word for it. Goes around pretty much the whole lake, so it might take it a little time to come back. But with that plant also being there, it does go around pretty much the whole lake, meaning although the lake is drained, it'll actually let us, I believe, get to the fishing hole when we want. That is not a today thing. Today's thing is ghost hunting and collecting pieces of heart. Very nice. Otherwise, feel free to backflip off the building, trying to look cool, taking damage in the process. I mean, come on, it's kind of Link's thing. And then, back on Epona, and back to ghost hunting we go. Now, if you're smart, what you should do is when you need arrows, go up to Kakariko, buy them, come here, sell your pose, rinse, repeat. You'll pretty much never run out of money. Oh, Mr. Ghost Salesman, I have a Poe for you. Hey, young man, what's happening today? If you have a Poe, I will buy it. Your card now has 0 points. Come back again. So I believe target him and use the Poe. Oh, you brought a Poe today. Very interesting. This is a big Poe. I'll buy it for 50 rupees. On top of that, I'll put 100 points on your card. If you earn 1,000 points, you'll be a happy man. So, there you go. As you can see, like I said, we're going to be wasting a lot of money, but it's totally fine. Seriously, you come across so much money in this game that realistically, losing out on 50 rupees, it really isn't a big deal. The other nice thing is you don't even have to really confirm anything. Once he's determined, oh, it's a big Poe, 50's added to your wallet, he gives you some points. It's a nice deal. Otherwise, with that done and dusted, back to Poe hunting. dismount good old Epona. Thank you, gal, for helping us out so much. Of course, equip the actual bottle we're going to use. I'd also like to rearrange my gear there. And now, let's see what our reward is for the big pose. Now, I say this like I haven't already said it, but it's the final bottle, which is why we really want it. So yes, we brought a Poe, very interesting. I know, you'll buy it for 50. Put 100 points. Wait a minute. Wow. You have earned 1,000 points. Young man, you are a genuine ghost hunter. Is that what you expected me to say? Because of you, I have extra inventory of big Poes, so this will be the last time I can buy a ghost. You're thinking about what I promised would happen when you earned 1,000 points. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Just take this. And you got an empty bottle. The fourth and final one. Now look. The first 3 bottles are extremely easy to get. Help a lady with her chickens, find 3 special chickens in a group, dive under the water to progress the game, meaning 1 bottle is unmissable, and then do one of the most annoying, tedious side quests in the game of hunting 10 big Poes after obtaining the bow. The workload isn't very even, but our count of bottles is, which frankly makes me quite a happy man. Next time we play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, well, remember that bean we planted at the lake? Maybe we should follow it and see just where it leads us. As always, I'm Bread. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.